All right, y'all, man. It's that time. We are a little bit behind, but glad to be here. It's another Tuesday. We're going to go ahead and get this show started, man. It's about that time. You're rocking with your boy, Damo Unleash, and Sky Black on the Nashville Caveman Podcast. Stay tuned.
Hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. I gotta turn up this function, like I'm in the Lotus and punch it. All I'm gonna ask is stay in your lane, and you won't be food for my lunch. I'm coming up out of the dungeon, cooking up plans to make something from nothing. And since I secured the bag, it's time to do math, so I'ma keep hustling. I thought I had lost my way or something. I am not feeling what they say is busting. They keep us trapping this way, disgusting. If you so happen to catch me flexing, I could be killing the stressful day by learning how to install some chromic crystals on the Escalade. Matching the arm that's on my sternum. I am for the sake of the people. Grabbing my Glock and pray to the Lord, cause not everybody tryna be peaceful. I still hope we set the stage for showing them how it's supposed to be, so those that's close to me won't have to ask, hey, what you got in that bag? Hey, just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. Hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. Hey, what you got in that bag? Let me explain what I'm talking about. Had a joint called down about it. Letting these loud mouths know how to move without sound. Best if we don't even shout out. Midwest, east, west, down south, till we get even or even above. Till then we gon' opt out. Let's go and educate on the backside. Folk that I act right and they won't backslide. Just put it together no matter the weather, my brother. So hey, if you dealing with vices in you and it's cutting you up like against you, put it on chill for real, or they gon' just use it against you. What you got in that bag? Quiet water.
What is going on, everybody, man? Happy Tuesday. Sorry, we are running a little bit behind. Glad to be here, man, on a rainy, wet, cold Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Fresh off of the Super Bowl. So, man, it wasn't the Super Bowl I was expecting, but it was something else. Before we get into that, though, man, let me go ahead and tell y'all, if you're watching the live, if y'all can do me a favor, if y'all can share this, the stream. I am also Sky. I'm going to go right now and share it to yours. So everybody can watch this also off of your page. All right, let me get back to it, man. I'm your boy Damo Unleash. Welcome to the Nashville Caveman Podcast Show. We happy y'all here. I am here with a good friend of mine that's like a brother. I'm gonna roll out the red carpet and let him introduce himself. So the floor is yours.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Sky Black. I am a pro wrestler. First of all, shouts out to everybody last Saturday that watched us at RCW Redneck Championship Wrestling up in Sims, Illinois. We had a great time up there. Next show will be next weekend, February 22nd and February 23rd. Shouts out to RWF that they're running the show this weekend in Gallatin. I'm also a music publisher, so don't forget tonight, the Bling Radio Show from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and the replay is from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. If you are an artist that has any music that would like to be played, send it to sky.black@gmail.com. That is sky.black@gmail.com. And I would like to say, Damo, that young lady, what's her name, Star?
Oh, Char
So
Christine.
yeah, she is doing her thing. I friended her, and I was so glad that she posted that she won the award or whatever, because she deserves it. She's really doing her thing. So shouts out to her.
Yeah, she having the ball down where she was having the ball. I don't know if she's back yet in Ohio, but I know she was down in New Orleans, man, having a ball. You know what I'm saying? And enjoying all of the restaurants, the good foods, the Super Bowl festivities. So, and just living like a superstar, man, which is well deserved, man. Really cool person, man. Been knowing her for a few years now, and she is very, very talented, very, very down to earth, man. Speaking of that Super Bowl, there's a lot of people lost money on that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that neither. I don't think the Chiefs wanted it as bad. I thought they thought that the Eagles were just going to lay down for them, and they didn't. And they didn't. So that front four of the Eagles defensive line was just as good as Tampa Bay's a couple of years ago when they beat Kansas City. And I didn't know how big the Philadelphia offensive linemen are. They averaged 338. They averaged 6 foot 338. That was the biggest offensive line in Super Bowl history. That's what they said during the commentary. So it wore down, eventually wore down Kansas City defensive line, because at first it was kind of controlling Saquon Barkley, but towards the end, it was too much. It was way too much. So shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles and all y'all Eagle fans. But I would have loved to see somebody three-peat, but it just didn't happen.
You know what? With that Super Bowl, what it went to show me is that it doesn't matter how good your quarterback is, if your offensive line stink, if he only got 3 seconds to throw the ball, he ain't got a chance, man. You know what I'm saying? It looked like I was watching The Longest Yard.
You remember that? The Longest Yard?
Remember when Burt Reynolds, when they was hitting them, they was letting them through? That's what the Super Bowl looked like. Every time he said, ha, ha, it was a hand on him, grabbing his jersey, somebody on his ankle. So,
absolutely,
it's unfortunate, man.
Very unfortunate.
But you got to have a winner. You got to have a loser.
Every year. So, but I'm with everybody else. Well, first of all, if he would have won it, the GOAT debate would have still been Tom Brady. But now, since he lost this one, because when Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl against the Eagles, he still threw for a record 505 yards, right? With the loss. And he was driving down the comeback to win. And they only lost by, 10 points or something? Something like that. Before they stripped the ball out of Brady's hand and took it. This man lost by, I can't even count the fourth quarter when they put up the 22 points. The man was down 34-0 in the third quarter.
It was 40-6 at one point.
40-6. Yeah, that even when Brady lost to the Eagles, it was never that bad. It wasn't that bad at all.
At halftime, you know how many yards that the Kansas City Chiefs had at halftime?
73 or something?
No, way less than that.
That's crazy.
They had 19 yards at the half. The Eagles had more points than the Chiefs had yards.
Ain't that crazy?
I knew it was over then. I was like, well, if your line can't block, ain't no coming back. People was like, oh, they'll come back. I don't care how good. You could have put Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and Joe Montana in one body. Right? And Peyton Manning, you could have added all of them. If you ain't got no offensive line, you ain't got a shot.
Nope.
That's just what it is.
Absolutely.
What you think about the halftime show?
It was okay. I don't know what everybody was expecting. He's not a dancer. He's not a performer. He's just an everyday rapper. If you ever been to a normal rap show, that's what you're going to get. So I don't know what they were looking for. Even if it was Lil Wayne, what were you looking for? He's not Diddy. He's not going to dance around. He's not Mario or Chris Brown, Usher. Like, what were they expecting? Was he the only one that performed, or was there other performers?
I think he was the only one. That was the only one I called.
What were they looking for in this halftime show then? I ain't said it's the best of all time, but for them to degrade it, talking about all he did was diss Drake the whole time, like, I don't think he dissed Drake the whole time. First of all, the NFL wouldn't even allow that. They're too classy. They have a rapper that's gonna go up there and diss another famous rapper like Drake in their halftime show. They're not going to give you the platform to do that. So I don't know what people are upset about or what their opinion is. Talk about it was trash. Yeah, white folks that don't like rap, it is trash to y'all. It's a lot of white people, a lot of blacks that don't like rap. So if you ain't into rap music, hip hop, it probably is trash to y'all. Like when they do country or whatever. If I don't like country, then I'm not going to watch the halftime show. But other than that, I think it was all right.
Actually, I actually like the Super Bowl for the commercials. You know, I wish they come back with really crappy commercials, man, and because the commercials to me is what made the Super Bowl.
But they've gotten so expensive, Damo. Now that 30-second is $8 million. I remember back then it was like $2-3 million. Now it's $8 million, and that's not including the production. You still got to go hire Morgan Freeman and pay him. You got to pay the lights, the cameraman, the studio people, the building that you're shooting in. You just giving Fox $8 million just for them to play it. It ain't counting that other stuff that you still got to pay to get it done. I mean, I didn't see a Doritos commercial. I don't think I saw a Pepsi, a Coke, a Oreo. Like those are ones your major ones. I don't think I saw that.
Budweiser, like you know what? You're right, Scott. And I think the other thing, like I was watching it online, so the commercials that I probably were seeing were probably different than a lot of the commercials that everybody else probably was seeing.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah.
But overall, man, shout out to Gilly the Kid, man. Gilly made the whole, because I was watching the Philadelphia Eagles side, to the Super Bowl. And Gilly, when he got out there with that big ass hat, he already got that coyote head shaped head, right? And then he had that big old hat. And then he had a little short dude that was like 3'2", dressed in an Eagle uniform. Then he had his neighbor with the broom. And when they was doing that Too Short blow the whistle, when they do that little dance, it was the funniest thing, man. So I followed that from, I think it started somewhere during the before the playoffs. And, the wild card, divisional round. No, because I don't think the Eagles played the wild card. I think they just played the conference and division.
No, they played because Detroit had the number 1 seed, so Philly played wild card.
Oh, did it? Yeah. So from the first round all the way to the Super Bowl, man, that little dance they had going on and their little setup was hilarious. So it's good to see the fans get into it. And when you see the fans get a majority of the notoriety, that's good.
Absolutely. And so again, congratulations to him. I mean, I'm just a fan of success. I would have loved to live to see somebody three-peat in the Super Bowl era. Because the last time any NFL team three-peated was the Green Bay Packers. They won the first 2 NFL championships, and then they won the very first Super Bowl. But that's not 3 Super Bowls. That's 2 NFL championships and 1 Super Bowl. They won in 3 in a row. They want to see somebody win 3 actual Super Bowls, and so we might not ever see it.
Yeah, that might be one of the things you never see.
And then shouts out to Saquon Barkley because he gave up getting Eric Dickerson's record for this moment. That's why they set him out in the last game of the season. He got 2,000 yards. He gave it up for this moment. So he gambled and he won. He gambled and won.
Yeah. Yeah. And he could go for that record next year.
Absolutely.
Who's to say he can't go for it next year? So you're right, Sky. Y'all, we got some real interesting stuff to talk about today. All right. I'm going to go through these notes real quick because this was just bizarre. So what's on the menu for today? Number 1, this is the wildest thing I have ever heard. I'm about to play to y'all something that's so wild, I didn't think I would hear it. I'm still in shock. A mother who unalived her 14-year-old for not doing chores. A Florida woman urinates in ice cream shop's ice cream. Should the U.S. government be audited every year? A baby made without sperm and eggs. And that's what we got on top, man. That's what we got on the menu today. So y'all know how we like to do. Before we jump into these topics, we love to play indie artists. I'm a big fan. Sky is a big fan of indie artists. I'm a former indie artist, so of course I'm gonna love. Or you did music also, so yeah. So we got to get the indie artists, And again, as Sky told y'all earlier in the show, if you're a musician, you want your music video played on here, reach out to me or reach out to Sky so we can actually get y'all on here. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this and.
Gave me life in another form. Sexing you be like crazy, like I'm out of a poem. Born to lead a leader, hugging her when I greet her. How does it feel to have a man and know just how to treat you? Make you feel good, don't it? Wanna get out and float it. I know your nerves be getting bad, cause I be getting on it. That's why whatever you want, I go get it, no matter the cost. Your friends be dropping us off, but I'm playing them off. They don't mean nothing, they just be running their mouth. They just mad, cause they live in the bricks and I live in the house. And we hustle hard for that, and we ain't going back. They just don't know what I went through to try to get where I'm at. Just think back to that shack and that old ass lack where you used to hit the block every day trying to get off that pack. When I was poor, broke, ass out, didn't wanna go home. You was the only one that had strength to keep me strong. That's why it's you and me, you and me, you and me. Out of the game, girl, out of the game, yeah. You and me, out of the game, in and out of the game, yeah. Jodeci forever, my lady. You and me and you, what the deal? Between both of us, you know we show to make a meal. Can you feel what I'm saying? I not fall on my knees to pray. Things go right, I just might reminisce about the first time I seen you and the first time we kissed. Shit, we used to go half up on the sack, half up on the yak, half up at the tank, half up at the bank. We used to hit licks together, flip together. Shit, we went from chips to cheddar. Who better? Trying to be a foundation for us to build. From the bottom to the hills, from the ocean to the fields. Ain't you real? That's why I feel the way I feel. The sign sealed, delivered sincerely, we will. I can hold back love, I can hold back love, I can hold back love. Love, you and me, out of the game, you're out of the game. The truth, everything that I'm trying to do, you trying to do it too. It's hard to tell you, but I cheated with some rats on the road while you was giving me everything. I was treating you cold. Man, it's been hell and hot water and back with my cat. From short stacks to fat, from pintos to lax. I'm back, and how the hell I make it this far? You may not like it then, but you love me now. No more clouds or rainy days, just sunshines in your smile. Meanwhile, we've been focusing on building a new house, on a new route for more clouds, steady repping the new south. Ain't no doubt them gold niggas hate to see what you bout, because it's you and me, you and me. In and out of the game, girl, it's just you and me and you and me. In and out of the game, girl, you and me. I can go back love, I can go back love. No, no. You and me.
All right, y'all, we back. Usually, man, I like a lot of these stories. I like to slow walk into them. But man, this thing that I came across this video, Sky, and I was like, you know how you sometimes you feel like you done seen it all, and then somebody do something, and you thought you saw it all, but you like, oh no, this is just wow, beyond my imagination. Well, I'm about to play you, Sky, one of the craziest things I ever heard. And it's about to be probably one of the craziest things you ever heard. So y'all, let me cut this music a little bit, because without further ado, I got to make sure y'all hear this real well. Because I had to play it 2 or 3 times to make sure she said what I thought she said. Here we go, y'all. Hold on, I gotta turn the volume up. She about to tell y'all this story.
She got something about blood. Girl, yeah, see? Okay, here's what happened. Oh, boy. My man basically was just like, I think I was having a bad day, and I was like, oh my God, you don't love me. I feel bad. You know, but just be complaining. I did so anyway. And he was like, why are you feeling like that? Why do you feel like just because you're on your period, I don't love you, I'm not attracted to you? And I was like, I just feel that way. And we were in the car, and he put the car apart, and he said, put your fingers inside of yourself. I'm like, no. And then he did it. He ate it, and he said, you think I love you now? And it was like soft.
No way to be broke up with that man.
What you mean? He want me right now?
So did y'all catch? So let me pause this. Did y'all catch what she said? I'm gonna play this back.
You said something about feeling like, overweight or something, right?
She was, hold on. She was having a bad day, and you know how females be like, I'm having a bad day, and this and this and that, and I'm on my period, right? And so I'm gonna stop it right there because I want y'all to hear from her mouth, and if y'all don't hear this again, I'm gonna tell you exactly what she said.
Basically, it was just like, I think I was having a bad day, and I was like, oh my God, you don't love me. I feel bad, you know, but just be complaining. I did so anyway. And he was like, why are you feeling like that? Why do you feel like just because you're on your period, I don't love you, I'm not attracted to you? And I was like, I just feel that way. And we were in the car, and he put the car apart, and he said, put your fingers inside of yourself. I'm like, no. And then he did it. He ate it, and he said, you think I love you now? It was like soft.
So he told her to put her fingers inside of herself, and then he ate what? Her finger?
No, she was on her period. Right? And so he told her, put your fingers inside yourself, and she was like, no. So he did it, took his fingers out, and then ate it.
Oh, shit. What the fuck?
You know.
You can't make this stuff up, can you? Like this, you know.
I came across this video, and I was like, some things is like, I understand the whole shock culture, but this is beyond shock culture. Like, they even had the audacity, the first and foremost, even get on, because they're on the Breakfast Club. So you know how big that show, that platform is. So to be on that platform, right, and to be talking about, you know, man, exposing your dude, and this is why, man, dudes, y'all got to be careful the kind of females y'all be with, because y'all with females that talk way too much. Why does she have to volunteer that information? That could have just been between them, right?
Absolutely. Sometimes I be like, and even not even stuff like that, because sometimes you be with women and they like to do a lot of small talk. So if you hear a group of women, one will say something about her husband, then the next one will say something about her husband, then the next one, and it just keeps going on and on and on to the point is
They volunteer information.
going to information like, he eats ice cream at night, or he only likes the color red, or he does this and he does that. It's like, excuse me, why does all these people have to know what I do? Just because they talk about their husbands or their boyfriends, why are you talking about me in the conversation? They didn't even ask about me. You just want to be a part of the conversation and bring me up. So that's just what women do. So that's why sometimes
the need to feel validated, man, is dangerous.
Absolutely.
Like,
so no matter what type of relationship I'm in, sometimes I just do things outside of the relationship that she will never know and find out, not cheating or nothing. So that way you can't bring that up against me. That's why sometimes I just like to be alone, be by myself. So that way when you with your group of girlfriends and you're talking, you're like, I don't know. Thank you. That's the best thing you said. So I kind of see that. So this girl is not only comfortable with saying things like that, but she's coming out of that situation where she's just used to doing a lot of small talk. And that's what you're getting. And this small talk has to be something that's just made very public, because she's probably told her secret of girlfriends this information, but then she just made it public on that platform.
And she told them that she's still with the dude. So now everybody know who the dude is. If that was one of my partners, I don't know if I can never look at him the same. Like, ugh, man, you tasted her period blood? Ugh, like, and this ain't even I don't even care if it was your wife, but that's a girlfriend.
Sometimes reality,
this is a girlfriend he did that
sometimes
to.
reality is stranger than fiction.
Man, let me play the rest of this. I gotta hear what
No way to be that broke up with that man.
What you mean? You want me right now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, you ain't put him on there like that.
Blood brothers now. But
Oh, my God.
I would say,
You from Brooklyn, right? Vampire from the Bronx, man. God damn.
but you know what it is that's really dope about it? Yes, you're listening to this right now, watch this, you're like, this is disgusting. But I think it's just that when you have no boundaries with someone, it's sexy.
Y'all gotta get back.
That ain't sexy.
Of course you got it.
You put everybody on the radio. I hit you out of your period.
Hell no, man.
And you take those blood trickling out of your mouth. That's what you did.
All right, man. I gotta move on. I can't. That's too much. That's nasty, man. I just wanna, because sometimes I be hearing stuff and I be like, and is something gonna top that? I promise y'all, I'm gonna come across something that's gonna top that. I'm fortunate. You know what I'm saying?
Like that's just truly just disgusting. Some things is not sexual. Some things is just honestly disgusting.
No boundaries. Everything needs to have. I think that's the issue. Everything needs to have a boundary. You know what I'm saying? Because without boundaries, you have what? Chaos.
Ask Kanye West bringing that girl to that damn award show.
He on some whole new stuff.
You know they escorted him and her out, right? I don't even know what award show that was, but they escorted them out.
Do you know also they saying that he was on X posting, man, explicit video of her, you know what I'm saying? Her and him, they rumored, I don't know, but they were saying her and other dudes. Man, this is too much, man. Like, people don't know how to be discreet anymore. Why can't people just learn sometimes, Sky? That's why I rock with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're discreet, you out of the way. You know what I'm saying? And I just think the majority of people just volunteer too much information.
They do. And if they don't, sometimes their spouse do it. So like you said, you got to be careful on who you with, who's talking out of your house, and things like that.
Right.
But I've always just felt like when I'm out on the outside of this house, hold some type of standard of professionalism. On the inside, when the doors are closed, then whatever. But when I'm on something like this, or I'm on the outside of the house, be professional. Act like you have some type of house training, things the old folks you say back in the day. Nowadays, it's just gone crazy. And even if this man was doing this, for her to come out and say it, I would never do nothing else ever again. And she'd be like, well, why we don't go out or why we don't do this? Because you talk too damn much. Anytime I do something, you're going to tell somebody. So, I can't do nothing else.
And you know the sad part? You know the crazy part, Stein? And always, I was having a conversation at work about this, right? And, people don't realize that when you go out and you make a fool of yourself, you're not the only one being judged.
Absolutely.
Guess who else is being judged?
The spouse or whoever's in the household.
Your spouse, your children, and even your parents. How many times have we came across somebody and was like, damn, they parents failed?
Absolutely.
So the people you love the most, you represent them.
That's right. And so when they talk about me, especially the females, my mom, my sister, my daughter, whoever, whenever they talk about me, I want their heads to be up. I'm not perfect, but when they do talk about me, I want their head to be up when they talk. I don't never want nobody's head to be down when they're talking about me.
Right. You're right. And with mine, I tell my daughters, like, when y'all out here, the way that people think of y'all is the way that they gonna think of me and y'all.
Absolutely.
So if y'all really love us the way that y'all say, then when you go out in these streets and you go out in the world, you want to represent us to the best. You want people saying, I wish I could have multiple kids like you. I wish I could, you want to be the person that people enjoy being around.
Absolutely. 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 And so I agree with that 100%. And again, nothing's perfect, but you put your best foot forward. So, but that right there, that is just some things I would have to, when she got home, like, you know what, me and you, we can't do nothing else ever again. We can do simple stuff, but outside of that, I can't do, because I don't know who you out here telling. That the whole world gonna know that I'm eating menstrual cycle blood, and I don't even want to be next to you, dude.
Who gonna smoke a blunt after? Who gonna hit a blunt after him?
Thank you. Oh, he be in his face talking. Don't even whisper to me. You know what I'm saying?
You can't even kiss. Can he kiss his dog?
Absolutely. I've had issues with my homeboys talking about having unprotected sex during that time of the month. Red means stop. Do we not have a red stoplight? Do we not have a red stop sign? When you see the color red, most people's mind is either angry or stop. And even if I see something with red eyes that look angry, I'm going to stop. Red means stop. So when my homeboys are like, no, we need it anyway, condom or no condom, I'm like, you're crazy. But this went above and beyond that.
See, them the kind of dudes, when they get to crying about child support, I'll be like, let me go to court with you and help you. As soon as I get in there, I'll be like, Judge, you should double his payments.
Yeah.
Triple him even, Judge, because I told him. Absolutely. That's crazy, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a little bit too far and too much, and that's just because if he do that, he'll eat anything. He'll put anything in his mouth.
He'll eat dookie.
He'll do anything. Absolutely. Gotta make her feel shit, a back.
I never looked at him the same.
Look, a back massage would have made her feel better. You know what I'm saying? Rubbing her shoulders would have made her feel. Massaging her feet would have made her feel better. But that was just some old hood. I can't even describe what that was.
I know where you're going with it. Yeah,
that's all that was, man. That was just some old honorary type stuff. That's what that was.
Man, y'all.
What does it say about the female? Because a good woman wouldn't even.
She nasty too.
Wouldn't even allow that stuff. Talk about, get your hand out of my pants. What are you doing? Wouldn't even allow you to stick your hand down there doing some shit like that. Now, unless she was pregnant and something going on with the baby, or it wasn't that time of the month and she started bleeding vaginally and she don't know what's going on, and you like, well, let me try to figure it out, maybe. But just come on now.
Hey, Sky, I don't even know if we can help him out. Usually we try to, roll with the brothers, but that he on his own with that. You know what I'm saying? I can imagine and blood running down his arm and stuff, and
yeah, like he eating tape batter.
Man. And then he was like, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can't lay that down, man. I couldn't even hang with him. Don't get him no beer.
Nothing. Let him speak.
You can't drink off my cups or nothing. You hear me?
Absolutely. Don't get him a darn thing. That's just absolutely, it's just disgusting all the way around, man. There's just no way around it. That's just trifling and honoring on both ends. And then she should have kept her mouth shut, but she just wants that shock factor. That's all it is. Clickbaits. And that's not cute.
Man. Well, she gonna get him. She gonna get him. I don't know if I can be with a chick that did that, and even though she ain't the one that did the tasting of the blood, I don't know if I can still, the fact that she let somebody do that, this speaks to the kind of woman I think she is.
And it goes to show you that they still together, so whether he brushed his teeth or used mouthwash, they're still kissing each other.
Ugh. I just couldn't get that out my head.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. I'm with you. Absolutely. I couldn't do that either.
Some of these dudes, the simp stuff that they do to please a female is not worth it. That's not worth it. I don't care. I'm not tasting no blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's some period blood. Like, you. That's her body cleaning itself. Like, man. Well, this next one, Sky, the world is, like we always say, the world is losing its mind, man. So this next story, this Florida woman breaks into, basically her and her husband own a restaurant. And the restaurant is next door to this ice cream shop. So a lot of buildings, like you've been to them houses where the bathroom you can go to the bathroom on two sides. Like there's two rooms sharing one bathroom. So basically, that's how it was with these restaurants. They were adjacent. They had adjacent bathrooms. So the ice cream shop was doing a lot of business. And the owners of the restaurant, well, the wife, got frustrated by it. So she broke in through the bathroom into the ice cream shop and urinates on the ice cream. So, without further ado, y'all, let me let y'all hear this.
Woman accused of urinating and then spitting into the ice cream of a local ice cream shop in Indian Shores. And today, Lulu's ice cream shop reopened, and the community already rallying behind it.
That's a great thing.
Opening the door to a new start. Owners of Lulu's are open and ready to be back to business as usual.
Today, dust ourselves up. We're ready to go.
This after Indian Shores police say surveillance video shows Jung Soon Wipcha, who owns the food market next door, entered the ice cream shop through an adjoining bathroom, then urinated in and did other disgusting things to their ice cream. Allegedly angry about the shop's popularity and a dispute over parking spaces. Julie says they immediately replaced everything in the store. The community rallying to support Lulu's. As for Jung and her husband, who still own the business,
A woman accused of urinating and then spitting into the ice cream of a local ice cream shop in Indian Shores. And today, Lulu's ice cream shop reopened, and the community already rallying behind it.
That's a great thing.
Opening the door to a new start. Owners of Lulu's are open and ready to be back to business as
I don't know if I can eat there again.
Dust ourselves up.
I mean,
This after Indian Shores
because I don't know what ice cream she pissed in.
So, I wanted to play that twice, so make sure everybody heard it.
I don't know.
I don't know if I can go back there and eat again, Scott.
I don't know what ice cream she's pissed in. And then even if she pissed in the ice cream, I don't know how the ice cream is set up, right? So how you know pee didn't hit other parts of the machine or on the floor or just anywhere, you know what I'm saying, that he could have missed. and not you probably saw the piss in the ice cream because the ice cream is cold and it froze the piss. But you know how when people piss, they spray everywhere. So how did he know what she pissed and what didn't piss hit? So you're absolutely right.
Well, it's on video. It had her on video surveillance.
Yeah.
So basically, they had to take everything and throw everything.
Okay, now, okay.
Everything.
And then she's not a dude, right? So she's not with a hose pipe spraying. Women, when they pee, they squat. So you tell me she squatted over this ice cream?
Yeah, basically.
Excuse my language. This is two disgusting videos back to back. Because usually when you pee, sometimes your body just go ahead and release that other stuff too. That's disgusting.
Man, they said other disgusting stuff, so she's spinning the ice cream and everything.
She defecated in that ice cream too.
I'm quite sure she did. And the chocolate, I'm quite sure. You know, if that chocolate curled up like this, y'all know what that was. It wasn't ice cream.
And she did this because once you ruin somebody's reputation, it's hard to get it back, right? So this woman, she went to jail. Yeah. She must have really hated this man that much. You said the man was her husband?
No, her husband and her owned the restaurant.
Okay.
This restaurant that was connected to it had nothing to do with her. She just hated that they were doing business that her restaurant couldn't.
And so she ended up going to jail, right, for doing this?
Yeah, I'm quite sure she is.
That don't even make no sense. And so they're talking about the community is rallying behind the ice cream shop. Well, he wouldn't have my money because whatever she was trying to do, she wanted on me. Because once I found out you done bent over on anything in there and peed and spit and whatever, come on, dude. No. National hair hitting damn ice cream. No, come on. You lost me as a customer. I'm sorry.
That is
right. That is,
you hear me? If I was a customer that ate at that, you know, because some spots like that, they have regular customers. I'm thinking I would be waiting for her. She had to take a can of, hold on. She had to take a can of American whoop ass. Y'all hear me? I have a can for her. American whoop ass.
People.
God, I'm telling you.
I don't know if people are going crazy, or these religious folks, but like the devil is just playing. I don't know what it is. You know, I have no clue that I hate somebody or hating on somebody's business that bad that I'm going to do that, because you're not just hurting the business, you're hurting the customers and the key. Ice cream is a kid thing. When you think about ice cream, you think about children. So this man that has an ice cream shop, 90%, or let's say 85% of his customers are probably kids and teenagers. The adults are there because they have the money, but not too many adults like, I want ice cream today. You know what I'm saying? Mostly it's kids and teenagers. So what you did to that community is what you was trying to hurt the business, but you just hurt the community. Now these people that's rallying and say, I'm gonna do it, God bless y'all. I ain't got nothing against y'all. Whatever she tried to do, she won me over because I ain't coming back. I'll drive another mile down the street to the next ice cream shop before I do that. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I think I'd be done with it. You know what? There was when I was back in Ohio, I think there was a Krispy Kreme donuts that a dude did that too. He stood over the bowl and urinated in the bowl, the Krispy Kreme donut. And I ain't been able to really go back there since, man.
Yeah. I ain't either, and that's just with anything. That's like if somebody, because a long time ago, I don't know. I know you can tell me how long you've been in Tennessee, but Channel 2 News used to do these audit reports on these restaurants, and a lot of them were getting Fs and 50s because they had rats, rat pellets, mice, spiders, bugs, and they would say, and they would give the name of the restaurant, the street, and the owner, and I was like, well, I ain't going to that one no more. You know, if a restaurant had like a 97 and above, okay, cool. But some of these restaurants was like in the 50s and stuff, man. It was crazy what they was finding when they was doing these audits in these restaurants. And I was like, that is disgusting. I am never going back.
And you always remember, it don't matter what kind of relationship you had or what you thought about it beforehand. Man, once they get a bad reputation, you're right, Sky. It is very hard to shake that off.
Absolutely.
Almost impossible.
Almost, yeah. You're absolutely correct. That's why perception is everything. So you have to perceive to have good manners, professionalism, at least attempt to say that you're trying to do your best. Because some people, like one month will start out with an F, but then a couple of months later when they came back to do the inspection, they had a C or B. That's fine, depending on what they found. But when you're telling me you're finding rats and mice and bugs and they're having babies, that means that's just disgusting. You might find a cobweb here or old machinery here, or you might need your vents clean. That's fine. But when you are hosting bugs like that, I can't go back.
Man. Well, if y'all ever in Florida, stay away from Lulu's. I'm just gonna tell y'all that. I would.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna remember that name for all time now.
Yep. Even if they brought one here to Tennessee, I'm thinking they transporting the piss. So yeah. Don't even come here.
Oh man, I don't even know. I think if they even be with a woman that is capable of doing that, it's a bit too much, man. I don't know if I could be with a woman that's capable of doing that. Because that just shows a lot about her character. But speaking of Sky, these stories get crazy. So I never thought that I'd see the day that I ever see this. But they are working on the ability to create babies without sperm and the egg. So without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and play this video.
On to our next story now, a groundbreaking advancement from the world of science. Scientists say they have created synthetic human embryos. They say they bypass the need to use sperm and eggs and use stem cells to create the embryos. The synthetic embryos are similar to those in the earlier stage of human development. Our scientists say these could provide a crucial window into the impact of genetic disorders and biological causes of recurrent miscarriage. The aim for this research is to understand what scientists refer to as the black box period of development.
That's crazy.
So because scientists can cultivate embryos in labs up to a legal limit of 14 days. After this, they have to pick later on by looking at pregnancy scans and the embryos donated for research. The work was reportedly described in a plenary address at the International Society for Stem Cell Research's annual meeting in Boston. However, the full details of the latest work from the Cambridge Caltech lab are yet to be published in a journal paper. Now, Robin Lovelow-Badge, the head of the Stem Cell Biology and Developmental Genetics.
I'm going to stop it right there. So, now they using
that stem cell research is going to cause the Night of the Living Dead. That's what that's going to do. It's going to cause the Walking Dead because that stem cell research, they're trying to play God. Like a few years ago, scientists, what they was trying to do was to stop a lot of disabilities in babies or autism or whatever. They could go in there and find the genetic or the genome that was causing the disability or whatever it was causing, and they could replace it or change it. And the government said, no, we're not going to allow you to do that because you cannot be playing God like that. And then when they started to clone the sheep and stuff back in the day, they was finding people in these other countries trying to clone humans. The problem is that when you clone humans, depending on when you got the cell, you try to clone a 45-year-old man. Well, when the new embryo was just a baby, it still had 45-year-old cells in it. It didn't have brand new cells like a brand new baby coming out of a woman. So at 2 years old, It still had 45-year-old genes. So it didn't make it past 5 or 6. Because now it's in its 50s and 60s. And so it looked young on the inside, but on the outside, but on the inside, it had the genes of an old man. So so this is going to get crazy if they're able to do that because they've been trying to clone. I know you heard these conspiracy theories about how many Donald Trumps there are in the world and all that old crap. So they're trying to clone people,
yeah.
clone animals, and now they're trying to create life without a man and a woman.
Yeah, let them tell it. Jamie Foxx is clone. You hear that? They talking about he clone, he got freckles now and all that. You know, I'm just gonna say it like this, right? Man, they got robot dolls, and then people can have their baby. Families is gonna be just very odd in about 20 to 30 years. You're gonna have a man married to a robot, and then they're gonna have an embryo-born baby. That's just weird shit going on. I'm glad, Lord, I won't be around hopefully at that time when all that take place. That's too weird for me, man. That's too weird. You know, it's bad for cloning. But now, man, you know, you having babies that way.
Well,
I mean, you used to be able to, you know, go to a sperm bank or go wherever and whatever. Now they talk about they don't even need it, and they don't need an egg. I wonder what this baby gonna look like.
It's going. Well, let's just say the first few guinea pigs are not going to look that good, because anything you do for the first time is way bad. It's not nowhere close to perfect. So these damn things are going to look like monsters. They're going to look like real aliens from outer space, because these are new. Anything that's new is never going to be. It's going to look terrible. But I can't say be a hypocrite, because let me tell you about my life, right? When I was younger, I knew I was an introvert and I didn't want to be bothered with people. I was like, is there a way that I can get my money without going into the damn bank? And whoever it was created the ATM. Now, these same people have created kiosks in McDonald's where I don't have to talk to folks, right? So, so when I had my children, I thought the worst part about kids is I have to share them with the mama. If I could just raise the kids on my own and they have my personality, the way I thought, the way I moved, only me, this would be better parenting, because now they have half of me, half of the mama. So I thought if I ever wanted kids again, seriously, I wanted to adopt. I wanted to adopt a child where the mama said, I don't want nothing to do with it. Here you go, Sky. You raise it the way you want it to be. You will never have to worry about me. So that means there was somebody else that was thinking like Sky Black out here that's saying, I'm going to marry a robot and I'm going to have this child to where I ain't got to worry about the robot running their mouth, teaching my child, and the child will only have my characteristics and not the mom's, because the mom is just a robot. So what I'm thinking in my head, there's a fool somewhere way in this world who is 10 times steps more than me, because I would have never thought about marrying no robot or having no damn unofficial human. But I always thought about, if I had a child, just me and the child for 18 years, how would it be without the other parent sometimes?
Well, I would say this: all these anomalies wouldn't exist if people quit having babies in the same place as the previous 5 generations. Eventually, man, y'all gonna be bumping with your cousins. I'm telling y'all, every other generation need to uproot and leave, go produce elsewhere. Why do people want to produce? That's why, man, you know, man, Down syndrome and all that. Some of y'all be mixing blood and DNA and don't realize it. Because y'all don't have enough family events. Y'all don't go to family reunions to even know. So here you been messing with your fifth cousin on your mama's side, don't even know. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? You graduate, you supposed to leave, go, get on the jet, man, and fly somewhere.
I mean, because you know there are issues, or there are people that have found out that daddies are sleeping with their daughters. You know, the father has slept with his 17-year-old daughter and got her pregnant. I'm thinking, is he the granddaddy or the daddy? Like, how does that work? And what type of deformation is this baby gonna have if the daddy slept with his biological daughter and got her pregnant? Like that's some old, you know how they make jokes about Southern people about how it's being inbred and incest. That's some sick shit. But
that's some Steve Wilkos, Jerry Springer stuff right there.
Yeah, but it has happened. So, you know, it is, to me, it's just laziness, to where You can't go out here and find you a woman somewhere. You sleeping with your daughter, and then what type of daughter do you have? Because imagine, I'm like you now. Imagine when they having sex and she's calling him daddy. Like, that's really your daddy. Like, that's the weirdest shit ever, right? Like, think about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what type of daughter did you raise to say, oh, it's okay for me to have sex with my daddy? So a lot of people just effed up completely. You know what I'm saying? So this is probably why they ain't even thinking in their mind to move, because they ain't even in their right mind.
You're right. You're right. They got it's true. And these folks out here are lost.
Very.
That is just some. I mean, man, I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, I just tell y'all this. I'm always going. I know y'all tired of me saying this over and over, but I'm just gonna say this. Leave, uproot and leave, man. You know, like in Ohio, my family big in Ohio, gigantic. You hear me? So I didn't want my kids having to deal with them issues. So we down here, there's no family here. You know? Something else I wanted to talk to and speak on when it comes to this also. It just shows, man, that wedge, like there's a gender war going on, and it just showing how that wedge is really, like, if we see it online, women dogging men, I don't need a man, and men, I don't want to be with these women, man, it's high maintenance, and just think of how messed up and isolated the world gonna be in some years.
And
like it really, like Sky, think about it. It's really gonna be taboo to have a biological mother, father, and biological kids.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's going the world's gonna look like an 8th grade dance. I don't know if you ever went to your 8th grade dance, but you know how the boys is on one side and the girls is on the other side, and they never wanted to talk or meet, or nobody wanted to go into the dance floor because, you know,
only 2 or 3 people actually on the dance.
Yeah.
2 or 3 couples actually on the dance floor, dancing, everybody else standing there looking at each other.
And we still thinking girls got cooties and all this other stuff, so we're not gonna approach them and ask them to dance and stuff. The world, I don't know. I always thought that something was wrong with me because how much of an introvert I was, and still is. But it's like the world is turning that way. People, and that's one of the issues that we're having in America. Nobody wants to talk to each other. Like, I'm terrible at that. Like, I don't even talk to my next door neighbors like that. Like, I say hi, but I don't talk to them. Back in the day, everybody talked to everybody, man. Everybody been down the street knew everybody. So now we get to the point where if you don't want to be bothered with humans, you can go buy you a 1,003,000. She looks just like a woman. She's gonna talk and do your commands, and you can have sex with her. Then you can go to this facility and have a child made the way you want him to. I want to be 6'3" and I want to play in the NFL, and you know what I'm saying? When that happens, it's really gonna be a problem, because that's why it's so much tension between humans, because we don't talk to each other no more. We don't sit and have conversations, because now, because of technology, we don't have to.
Yep. The communication is getting worse and worse. We got something else I wanted to talk about. I thought was real funny. I was watching the U.S. Treasury Department is being audited right now, and they are protesting. They are up in arms. So I know I wanted to go ahead and talk about that, because we get audited every year, right? And so I'm like, I think the U.S. government need to be audited. And I want to speak on that. I want to go real in depth. But before I do, man, we're going to go ahead and take a break, get some more music in, and then we're going to come back and talk about this, man. Should the U.S. government be audited yearly? Like we are. All right, man. So y'all sit tight, stay tuned. Y'all rocking with the Nashville Caveman podcast. If you're watching, please share the live. Shout out to my people on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Bigo, and TikTok, man. So
I'm on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people want to show. Am I gonna fumble? Am I gonna fall? I gotta let them know. Can't stop this for long.
You gon' know my hunger, you gon' know my name. Never did I make it, oh boy, I was a lame. I'm telling y'all stories so y'all can know my pain. And I'ma need a straight jack, I'm finna go insane. Like every day I stayed up, trying to be the best out. Looking at me downfield, trying to run the best route. But you know these corners, man, had to put a curl in. All I do is fail, and I'm looking for my first win. Always fucking broke, I just wish that I can touch green. Trying to lead the hood, cause you know that I can do without. Gotta put my family on, you know that I can't do without. Can't stop, won't stop, baby, that's what this all about, yeah.
I'm on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people wanna show. Am I gon' fumble? Am I gon' fall? I gotta let them know. Can't stop this flow. Can't stop this glow. I'm about to blow. Can't stop this. Can't stop this. Can't stop this flow. No, 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 no. Can't stop this flow.
Can't stop, won't stop, gotta keep going. These niggas sleeping on me, so let them keep snoring. The best rap alive, and I gotta keep flowing. I'm pulling up like step, man, I gotta keep scoring. And losing not an option, I learned to be a better me. Best rap alive, and y'all others just a letter B. You trying to ride my wave, and these niggas trying to copy me. Wanted that alive, then you know these rappers dead to me. Second place, nigga, that's the best that they can ever be. Can't stop, won't stop, boy, you know I'm the recipe. Running the game for too long, think that I can give it up. Told y'all what a life I live, you know I had to live it up, yeah.
I'm on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people wanna show. Am I gon' fumble? Am I gon' fall? I gotta let them know. Can't stop this flow. Can't stop this glow. I'm about to blow. Can't stop this. Can't stop this. Can't stop this flow. No, 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 no. Can't stop this flow. No, 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 no. Can't stop this flow.
All right, y'all, we are back. We are back. I got a story out of Seattle I want to go ahead and talk about. Well, actually, no.
Institute in London says, and I quote,
Well,
if you really know the normal human embryonic
let me go ahead and
development
shut that right
using
quick.
stem cells, you can gain an awful lot of information about how we begin development.
All right, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this, right? Because they've been protesting Maxine Waters, AOC, Jasmine Crockett. A lot of liberals, man, are down at the Department of Treasury and the Board of Education, and they are protesting en masse. Upset. I'm talking about they are highly upset about being audited by Elon Musk, right? So I'm going to go ahead and play this video so y'all can hear, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about this, man, because I find this kind of very interesting. I kind of don't mind, man, the U.S. government being audited, because I think that we pay. I was telling somebody about this, Sky. You know how they say we are trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in debt, right? And I was having a conversation. I was explaining to somebody. I was like, do you know there are 300 estimated? These are just the people that they got to count for, right? In America, 2025, 347 million people in America. So when you think about that number, think about when we work, we get taxed. We buy a home, we get taxed. We buy cars, tax, clothing, tax, food, tax. When we just want to go out for entertainment, we get taxed. So think about how often they tax us. Now, how is it that they in debt and the roads are getting worse? Sky, do you think, and this is this, I'm going to ask your opinion on this. Do you think the school system is getting better, or do you think it's getting worse?
It's getting worse.
because they've been shutting down more and more schools, right? They don't have money to pay teachers.
And a lot of teachers are quitting.
Yes, they don't have. We see in California with the fires, they didn't even have enough firefighters, and they not even paying them well, and cops also. So where's all this money going to?
Somebody's pocketing it.
Somebody. And you think about it. Think about all of the politicians that get in office, and none of them are making a salary that it affords them to be able to live in $1 million houses. So how is it that they can, when they leave office or being in politics for 20 or 30 years, they have millions and millions of dollars? How? How is that even possible? Even for a president or a governor to be worth millions?
Unless they had,
they
had it before they came in office.
And that's the thing, because a lot of them did. Yeah, and that's the thing, a lot of them didn't. So, I actually am enjoying them being audited. And I actually think it's been long overdue, but better late than never. And I think that we all need to ask the question of what the hell is y'all doing with our money? Right. You know what I'm saying? Because for Americans, life is getting rougher and rougher. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like the prices going up, but no, taxes aren't being cut though. Interest rates aren't being cut. So where do we draw the line at? So I wanted to play this video for y'all, and then we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about this.
Back then it says Doge actually means dangerous oligarchs grab everything. Well, ain't that the truth? I am so tired of these millionaire boys and their grubby little hands grabbing at everything. Hands off our bodies. Hands off our freedom. Hands off our tax refund. Hands off our social security check. Hands off our constitution. Hands off our democracy. Hands off. Elon Musk is a Nazi nemo-man. A mindless, lawless billionaire who no one elected. Elon, this is the American people. This is not your trashy Cybertruck. That you sit in the park and sell the pieces of. Let us get. Let us get. Let us get. Let us get. There's a sign back there that says Doge actually means danger.
Here's something that I want to talk about, right? Because for the last 4 years, man, they made January 6th the worst event in U.S. history. They are insurrectionists, you know what I'm saying? And all the people wanted to do is they wanted to go down to the Capitol and protest the election. That's what it was. But they were infiltrated by people who had bad intentions. And something that was started out to be just a regular protest turned out to be worse than it was supposed to. And it wasn't as many people involved in that, you know what I'm saying, as there were at the protest. Fast forward, look now. All it would take is somebody to start busting in buildings and stuff, and then they would be insurrectionists, wouldn't they?
Well, yeah, they would fit the definition, yeah.
They would fit the definition of it. So, you know, man, when it comes to these protests, I think people got to be very careful about the language they use first and foremost, because, man, you know, this looked like January 6th without the busted windows and stuff. But all it takes is, man, you know, it to be infiltrated, and a lot of times events are, you know. Something else I want to talk about. These politicians talk about our money. No, it is not your money, man. It is our money. They are paid by the American people. And though they are paid by American people, their cities and stuff is getting worse. I haven't, you know, aren't many cities that we can say, oh, I see an improvement here. And even the ones that do have improvements, in certain areas, and other areas, like take Nashville, for example. If you see the growth of Nashville, and Nashville actually looks a lot better than it did probably 20 years ago. But something that's swept under the rug that's not talked about is the homeless. Homelessness is
in every
worse.
city. Major
in
city
every
anyway,
city.
yeah. Everywhere we go, we see homeless people, yeah.
Yeah, so you know, you got these people that represent us. And like I said, I want y'all to think about this. Think about how many people is in the country, and that's accounted for. I ain't even including the people that's not accounted for, which is probably another 50 million, right? Think about how many times they tax us. They tax us over and over and over and over, and they still in debt. That's just like me borrowing money from your account, and then I'm still owing people. And then you like, well, damn, what you doing with my money then?
Absolutely. But how did we get to this point, right? So when the United States was started, it was taxation with representation, right? Because, you know, every country in the world, if Republicans are in love with Ronald Reagan, every country in the world is in love with Rome. It seemed like Rome was just the best thing since sliced bread. So what did Rome have? They had a leader and they had a Senate. So when the United States was first being created, this is what they wanted. They wanted a president and just a Senate. The House was created for the people. That was our representation. If you was going to tax us, we're going to send people to Congress to oversee where the money's going. What happened since then?
Right.
Why are we having to audit now after trillions of dollars in debt when that was the whole reason the House of Representatives was created to oversee the money that was being taxed from the people of America?
Exactly. You are exactly right, Sky. And that's the problem, you know. And we got to start as Americans. I don't care if it's Republican, Democrat. I don't care if it's a Green Party. I personally think that the politicians and the government, the government itself, Department of Treasury, also the Board of Education, the FBI, CIA, I think all those entities need to be audited yearly. And
you know, crazy part is
wherever we need to see, well, who's auditing? Because who's auditing them though?
You know what? And I'm wrong. That's why I'm listening to you. I always thought every year that there was an independent company, right? Because you know how all places have independent companies, right? When they need something done, that would go through each department with no bias and audit. But I could be wrong.
Well, and it may be, I could be wrong.
No, you're right. Because if they're doing this, then that means that never happened. If they're doing this and they're finding that they're sending money elsewhere or having just frivolous spending, then that never happened. It has never happened. Years and years has gone by before any departments have been audited.
And you really think about this guy, right? On top of it, I think it needs to be made public. Why isn't this information made public? Like, it's our money, so we should be able to see the receipt. If we go to the store and we spend our money, we want our receipt. Right. So why aren't we been given a receipt? And I want to say this. So with Elon Musk, what he set up is called the DOGE, right? So it's a team of young folks that basically go through and they're going through the paperwork, and they're basically they're getting up them receipts, seeing where that money goes. Do you know that the team just discovered that FEMA sent $59 million last week? $59 million last week to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal immigrants. Yet there are people in North Carolina that is living in tents from the hurricane a month and a half, 2 months ago.
And they don't.
So that's the
they
problem.
They're getting $750.
Yes. Remember we did that story talking about that. California, them one, all them folks that lost them houses, you know what they offered them? $700. So yes, our government need to be audited.
I agree. That's just pathetic. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I think with the city, when the city has a budget, the mayors, the aldermen, everybody, it needs to be a public, where I could go publicly and see where that money, how much they're getting, and where that money is going. Every dollar.
Well, that's why we have councilmen. That's what they're supposed to do. Your city councilmen, that's what they're supposed to do. Is for whatever district or ward that they're representing, they're supposed to keep up with that stuff. And then they're supposed to go in there and they're supposed to, I can't think of the word, pitch. Well, Edge here needs this much money, and JCUC needs this much money. How much money did you get last year? All this is what's supposed to be going on. This is why we elect these people, right? But it just goes to show you that a fish stinks from his head. So if the federal government is corrupt, then it's probably corrupt all the way down. They're learning from the big boys up top. So each state is learning how to do what they need to do. Because, when they started to audit Chicago and all this stuff, they're trying to figure out how is Chicago broke? How is Detroit filed bankruptcy? How does a whole city file bankruptcy? In 2009, Detroit filed bankruptcy. How does a whole city file bankruptcy? But yeah, the Detroit Lions are still paying their players millions of damn dollars. The Detroit Pistons are still paying their players millions of dollars, but the city of Detroit is bankrupt. I never understood how that worked.
Yeah. Because I don't know if the city itself is paying those players, but they're paying for them stadiums and them arenas. They're paying taxes on that. So how is it they're paying taxes for the Detroit Tigers and the Pistons and the Lions and they bankrupt? I agree with you.
They're not putting in the people's money. They're giving them such tax cuts that it's cutting into the revenue. So either way it goes, whether you're spending taxpayers' money to help build it, or you giving these people so much tax cuts that it's cutting into your revenue, who would approve stuff like that? Because how are you going to tell Detroit people, yay, you're going to have jobs when these teams come, but then the city filed bankruptcy? So that means all the city employees are broke. So who's going to go to the games if the city employees are broke and can't find jobs?
Exactly.
So I've always wondered a lot of that stuff. And then, and a lot of reason we in debt, because a lot of money, when it first started, we had Fort Knox, and a lot of people thought Fort Knox was just fake. I don't know if it was ever real or not. But each dollar represented an ounce of gold. We have more money print than we have gold in reserve. That's another reason we're in debt, because a lot of these countries that we owe money to, when they want to turn their dollars into gold, it ain't enough gold. It's just not. The United States have sat there and printed so much money that your money is almost worthless. Plus inflation, it makes it twice of almost worthless. So when we see all these 31, 32 trillion in whole, a lot of it's just because of the dollar has just deflated so much that it would take God knows how much paper money to even pay off this debt.
Which is why I'm glad that they froze federal spending. I'm glad. I think, you know what I'm saying? I think it was long overdue for somebody to carefully go through to see where all this money is going to.
Absolutely.
This is long overdue. And I want y'all to pay attention to how a lot of these politicians are acting like children. I want y'all to pay attention. They're having a temper tantrum right now. Because we was talking about this, the Board of Education. Because, man, think about how bad things have gotten since we got out, right? They used to have books. They don't have books no more. Now, the laptops is a book. So you would think that would save them money,
yeah,
right? But it's not. You would think all the stuff that they saving money on, because when we was in school, totally different from the way that they do schooling now.
Absolutely.
But It's not.
You know, they when we grew up under Common Core. That's what the Department of Education wanted to send down to all the states, was this is the way you should teach your schools, Common Core. You know what I'm saying? Well, times have changed. You can't do that anymore. You need to revamp the whole Department of Education, because a lot of people don't learn the same. And a lot of these kids are dropping out of high school because the shit's boring, and they're not going into colleges. That's why colleges is going up, because if you don't graduate high school, and some colleges don't accept GEDs, so don't think you're going to Harvard with a GED. So a lot of colleges don't accept GEDs, so that's revenue being lost because people are not going to college or they're not graduating out of high school. The states are saying, well, we're running out of money. We can't keep funding y'all. The federal government ain't funding y'all. So every child is going to college, especially a 4-year degree, MTSU, is going to go up because they still have to make an X amount of money. So they got to get it from somewhere. So when I was going, a semester was like $3,500 a semester. MTSU might be up to $7,500 a semester. You know what I'm saying? And this is why, because insufficiencies of the government, they're spending money on wastefulness and not putting it wherever they're supposed to put it. And then there's always these young politicians that saying, I'm going to go to Congress, I'm going to go to the state house, and I'm going to make a change. And then when they get there and see how corrupt it is, and like, you know what, shh, we'll pocket you too, as long as you don't promise what your constituents are. And then that's how the change is there.
Let me ask you, what do you think about school of choice? Do you agree with now how they're talking about doing away with, we're actually putting the checks in the parents' hands and allowing the parent to choose what school that the kids go to? Because
go ahead.
I was going to say, schools get so much per child, right?
Hell yeah, yes.
So what they're talking about now is the parent, it'd be like not them sending the money for the parent to use on other stuff. No, almost like a voucher, where the kid would be sent the voucher and the kid can use that voucher at the school of their choosing.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
You know what? So I agree with what you said about the school, because I went to a school called Carter Lawrence, which was 5th and 6th grade. Then it's a magnet school, but when I went, it was 5th and 6th grade, right? We had a gay principal named Dr. Kersey. Dr. Kersey, a gay principal named Dr. Kersey, the wore toupee.
Oh, no.
There was 250 fifth graders, 250 sixth graders. Listen to me now. He would stand at the door, and as we was coming off the bus, or the ones that walked, he called you by your first and last name as you came. I'm like, how does one principal remember over 500 students? It ain't because he cared about us. Principals get paid by how many kids is in the school. Listen to me. Principals get paid by how many kids is in that school. So he was basically counting his money. I mean, 500 students walked through the door. He was saying, hello, such and such, hello, such and such, hello. I mean, first and last names. Could you imagine that? I can't even remember 5 kids if you probably took me first and last name. But every school year, he remembered. And then that's when I learned and realized that was how he got paid. So that's why when you said that, that's absolutely correct. So at the end of the day, if the school system is a business, whether it's money, vouchers, charter schools, magnet schools, private schools, Christian schools, I don't think it's going to make a choice, because it's just a business. Is it really about educating, or is it just a business? Like churches, is it really about teaching you about God, or is it a business?
Right. Well, you know what? I will say this. I think with them having vouchers, it will make it more competitive. Like these teachers just doing, a lot of them do the bare minimum. I think, man, that it will force them to create better, learning environments and to really put passion into school. Because if the number of what you got, your pay is going to be based on the number of kids you got in your school, then of course you will want what? More kids. So I think from that perspective, it may help. I don't know. It's something new. It's got to be said.
Everything to me has to just need to be burnt and just redone because we're in 2025. Common Core was in the 1940s and 50s when they were starting to integrate, and the federal government is like, you know how they do studies and children. This is the way it needs to go. So for years, when me and you coming up through the 70s, 80s, and 90s, that's what we learned was Common Core education. That was it. You put a book in their hand, you taught them something, they remembered it, they wrote it back down on a test, they good to go. You know, and half of these people in there are doctors and lawyers, so just remember that now. But then technology comes along and says, well, we don't need hardened books, which is good because a lot of our backs are broke down carrying them down. You know, every year I had to buy a new backpack because the damn books was ripping.
My back still hurt from the
so then I would have to carry,
book bag was
carry laptops and stuff. But what they need to find out is how children learn. If they in 2025, if they figure that out,
right,
then I think the rest of it will figure itself out. But to put a bunch of kids in a classroom and ask one teacher to teach 30 kids to have different learning abilities and different walks of life, that's impossible. Yep. That's impossible. I know they make it look good on TV like Allen Elementary, but that's impossible. You can't do that. And then when you have that many students, you can't give that one student that one-on-one attention. So we used to have after school things for kids that need extra help with math and social studies and education and all that old stuff. So they used to do it, and then they don't do it no more. They just send you at home with a report. Your child is failing. Do something about it. You know,
they don't even have report cards anymore, Scott.
I don't think they do. Right?
My daughter did her stuff on paper, like regular white paper.
And the teachers and the parents used to get together and say, "Hey, what can we do collectively to help this child?" Well, when the damn mammy is 29 years old and her child is 7. She ain't thinking about going up to the school to talk to no damn teacher. She ain't even going to the parent-teachers conferences or the PTO.
Come on, 9 times out of 10, she got to work. She can't miss a damn work.
Oh, well, let's talk about that. My sister who lives out east, bless her heart, and Angelica Cooks, she was over, I think it was the PTO or one of those schools out east, right?
The PTO?
One of those staffers.
Is it called PTO or PTA down here?
I would have to find out. But there were some heifers that lived right down the street that could walk to the school.
Not heifers.
That could walk to the school. Didn't even come. The kids would have. The only time you seen them girls is when they put the child out the house and when it was time for the child to come home. Other than that, for those 8 hours, they sat on their ass and watched Oprah and whoever else came on TV. If the grandparents did not,
Days of Our Lives and all that.
If the grandparents didn't come to these meetings, those kids would be screwed. So that's what I'm talking about. So even with the vouchers and stuff like that, if your mama is still going to the club, it don't even matter because she don't give a damn about your education. For her, schooling is a daycare for her to sit on her butt, watch TV, and then on the weekends go out to the club or do whatever she's gonna do.
And then go to Sunday.
And you go to Sunday and repent. Absolutely.
Repent for all of it.
So a lot of these grandparents is what has kept a lot of these kids in place. But all the big mamas are dying. You know, when your grandmama's 45, she's still young her damn self. She ain't trying to sit at home and watch no damn 5 grandkids. She still got a whole life to live.
Hell no. Hell no, they ain't. You know?
So a lot of the school
systems, they having them younger.
Yeah, so a lot of the school systems is not even about the money or the vouchers or maybe even about the teachers. It's about what's going on in the household because some of these parents are young and they don't care. They wasn't trying to have kids no way. A lot of these kids were oopsies. And so they go to daycare, they go to their grandparents' house, they go to their baby daddy's house, and they go to school. Well, that's it.
You're right. You know, speaking of, and you know, we on topic, you know, these young chicks having these kids too young. Well, this mother had this son way too young, and 14 years later, son's life ended in tragedy. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I'm gonna jump into the story because this story, man, there's a lot that I want to talk about and tackle when it comes to it. So let me go ahead and play it for y'all right quick.
Jermaine struggled for years with dental issues before finally finding Nubia. Listen to what he wanted most.
After I get off these silly ass commercials, all right, excuse my language.
Washington, a mother accused of beating her son to death, refusing to the court. Jail reports that the woman told investigators her son didn't complete his chores and she was angry.
Can y'all hear that?
It's low, but I can hear it a little bit.
All right, hold on. Let me get this music, and then I'm gonna start this all over because we need to have this conversation.
Despite that, a public defender argued for her to be released. Washington, a mother accused of beating her son to death, refusing to enter the court. Jail reports that the woman told investigators her son didn't complete his chores and she was angry. After an hour of beating that boy, police say he became unresponsive, and that woman waited 5 minutes before calling 911. The boy was taken to the hospital. Washington, a mother accused of beating her son to death, refusing to enter the court. The jail report said the woman told investigators her son didn't complete his chores and she was angry. After an hour of beating that boy, police say he became unresponsive, and that woman
So
waited 5
it's
minutes
kind of
before
low.
calling 911.
All right. So let me just recap basically what happened. A Seattle mother, I guess she gave her 14-year-old son, 29-year-old mother, gave her 14-year-old son some chores to do, right? The little son didn't do the chores. So she spent an hour beating this boy, a whole hour. And then he was at some point unresponsive. She waited 5 minutes to call the ambulance. They came, got the boy. The boy passed away at the hospital, right? So, wanted to have this discussion. Because first of all, 29 and 14. So basically, she had this boy at anywhere from 14, 15 years old, first and foremost. What I wanted to go ahead and reason why I wanted to do, talk about this story, because there's a deeper issue, and me and Sky, we talk about this often, right? That the father need to be given more of an option to be able to have custody of kids. Because I think what happens a lot of times is the mothers hate the father of the children so bad, and they take it out on the kids. And it sounds like for this mother to spend a whole hour, let me get off the story and read to y'all what they found in this autopsy, right? And it's funny how they're not even putting this woman's information out. Like, you don't even know who she is, because I know if she go to prison, they gonna pounce on her like she a beanbag machine. I already know how it's gonna go down. She go to prison. All right. So let me read to y'all some of the stuff that came out of this story. I gotta stroll down to find this. Or did I just pass it? Yeah, I think I just passed it. So, all right, so let me go back up to it. Open up this story and, all right. So here, let me open this up and let me read y'all these details. This is like nuts, man. So, Seattle mother accused of beating 14-year-old son. Already talked about that. The boy's body had 1,172 marks, cuts, and bruises on his body, according to the medical examiner. The mom is being charged with second-degree murder and is being held on a $3 million bond. All over some chores. So I think it was a little bit deeper than that. I think this mother probably was thinking about the daddy the whole time when she was jumping on this child. Because an hour, I got enemies that I can't even work on an hour with. You know what I'm saying? The hell, after 15 minutes, I'm tired, man. Can somebody give me some orange juice? You know what I'm saying? An hour? You know how much hate you got to have in your heart to hit on any boxers don't even want to box an hour. They take breaks in between. When was the last time we seen a boxer or a fighter fight an hour straight?
No, you're right. It's so sad.
An hour, like there had to be some pure hatred going on there to jump on for a whole hour.
And you know, I'm not against corporal punishment. I'm not against whooping a child, sparing the rod, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes these badass kids need a whooping, but that's the story I be trying to tell folks when we have this like abortion conversation, right? Well, abortion is if you have a single mama like that that's 29 who can't take care of herself and ain't supposed to be a parent, she has two options. She can get rid of the child while it's in her stomach, or she can get rid of the child while it's on earth. This one chose to get rid of the child while it was on earth. See, if she got rid of the child while it was still in the stomach, she wouldn't be in jail. But she knew when she was pregnant. Right. She got pregnant by probably a dude that was no good. She knew she wasn't ready to be a mom. She had this baby, and now something clicked in her head, like you said, while she was probably just whooping them. Something clicked in her head to where she forgot this is her child. This was a human being, and now it's dead. So either way, you're going to kill the child. So this here is more gruesome than anything else. So what I want people to learn from this situation is if you're not ready to be a parent, because like you said, she had to have that baby at 15. If you get pregnant at 15 and you're not ready to be a child, it's okay. Don't worry about what other people are thinking, because you don't want to turn 29 and kill your 14-year-old child and go to jail.
You know what I think? I think when you have children out of wedlock, right, that a counselor need to come in, and then they need to do like you have to actually do like a therapy counsel, and they use that. They determine who gonna have custody of the kids based on that. I think based on that, that's when, you know what I'm saying, it should be determined who get the kids.
Absolutely.
Hey, thank you for the gift.
But Damo, in this situation, if the daddy didn't want the child, then this is why we're having this conversation. Because I believe if the daddy wanted the child, or if he was any good, we wouldn't be having this situation. So now here's a single 29-year-old mama who's fed up from bills to raising this child for 14 years. And all it took was chores to, you know, the straw that broke the camel's back. All it took was chores. Now that was building up for a long time, man. So if you can give your child up for adoption or give it to the daddy, fine. But if you in a situation where you know you can't, it ain't no sense in bringing no child onto this earth, because that was just the physical abuse. You know, she had to emotionally abuse that boy too. All the time. You know, I hate you. Too. You look like your daddy. You can't never do nothing right. Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just This is just a woman who's just mad at the world because she had a baby at 15 by some no good dude who's off having kids with other people. You know, it's just crazy. And now this child at 14 has lost their life because of chores. Dude, are you serious? All you have was 4 more years, really, too. Because when he turned 16, he could probably basically work and kind of take care of himself. But in retrospect, 4 more years, you would have had to not worry about it anymore. You wait until they turn 14 to lose your freedom. That means she didn't have it all up here.
Yep. And it's unfortunate, man. I mean, they need to do something with the CS, the Children's Services. They need to audit that too, see what's going on. Because these cases, we keep seeing these cases over and over and over. And I think they give too much of the rights to a lot of these moms, and there are a lot of moms that aren't fit, you know, to raise these kids either, man.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
are, man. It's a lot of them that's not. So I think
even
they need to have social services come on and determine who is the best fit for the kid. And they need to actually do like a mental examination on it.
I agree 100%.
I personally think.
But here's the thing: even if you have DHS, child custody, the state, anybody coming, we just got to talk about how our government misspend the money. So they're not giving these department or agencies the money to hire the people to do it. You know how many babies are born a year? Let's just say in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? It ain't enough of these caseworkers to keep up with these mamas and these kids because they're reproducing like rabbits. So this is why we hear stuff like this.
Yep.
So these departments need more money, resources, more caseworkers to oversee. So, sneak up on them, just knock on the door one day. Hey, what's going on in here? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But they don't have it. Why? Because our governments are overspending money on $800 on a helmet. You know what I'm saying?
Resources in need to go to. Because you're right. There should have been some kind of program for her to go to get some kind of help. Because obviously she needed help of some kind. Even if it was, where they taught her how to deal with, navigate through being a young mom. You're right.
Absolutely.
You're right. There's not enough programs. And that's the thing. Every year we lose more and more programs. But we keep paying taxes. Where the hell is our money going to? So
I have to have somebody audit it.
So again, that's why I'm glad we're auditing.
Yeah, if you owe the IRS anything, they better audit you. But who's auditing the IRS?
There you go. There you go.
Who's auditing our city councilmen? When the money gets
there was a rumor going around where they was talking about that Trump was talking about abolishing income tax.
He could because America was around before income tax, right? You do know that, like income tax comes in 1913. So before 1913, the income tax there was none. But of course, it was political because you had like the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and J.P. Chase and Morgan and all them. They had more money than the federal government. So the federal government was saying,
"Ain't that insane?" To think about how insane that is.
Yeah. So Theodore Roosevelt, when he became president in 1889, he said, "This is it. You will never be no one person or no one entity that will have more money and more powerful than the federal government." And by 1913, that's when they implemented the income tax. And another reason they implemented the income tax is because prior to the income tax, when the government wanted to go to war, a couple of things had to happen. One, the president had to ask Congress. Congress had to approve it, and then Congress had to get the money. Well, prior to then, Congress would do what they said was war bonds. I don't know if any of y'all ever seen a war bond, but us, the people, we would buy war bonds, right? And that's the money they would use to go to war. But if we didn't want to go to war, we wouldn't buy the war bonds. Well, here comes the income tax. Now you don't need to sell you war bonds because they're getting the money out of your paychecks every time you work. So when the president says, yeah, so when the president says, "I want to go to war," and Congress says, "Here's the money," we ain't got to sell bonds to the people to raise the money no more. We're taking the money straight out your income tax. So the income tax was created for those two reasons: to keep rich people from overpowering the government, which they in the government any damn way, and to not have to ask the people to go to war. Because think about it, if we had to predict, there wouldn't have been no Vietnam War, no Korean War, no Desert Storm, because the United States people wouldn't have bought the war bonds to fund these wars. But now since of the income tax, they don't need us no more. They just skip past us and go do whatever they want to do.
You're right. And I think for decades, the American people have been getting screwed over.
Oh, yeah.
And so hopefully there is a continued trend of them checking and seeing where are funds being allocated to.
Absolutely.
Where and to whom they're being allocated to.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, man, this is a sad story. Basically saying, to read it, it says on January 30th, documents state Young became upset with her son for not doing his chores and beat him for 3 hours straight. Oh, I thought it was an hour.
They embellishing. Nobody's beating nobody 3 hours straight. I don't believe that.
3 hours straight. The boy's siblings and the stepfather allegedly witnessed the beating.
And didn't do nothing.
The 14-year-old stopped breathing. Medical examiner says he suffered from sudden inflammatory response syndrome or disruptive shock, which happens when the body sends blood to so many different injuries in an attempt to heal them that there isn't enough blood to sustain the heart.
First of all, I don't believe anybody swinging for 3 straight hours. Nobody does that. And 2, I ain't worried about the siblings because they were probably young. But if the boyfriend witnessed it, he has to go to jail for being an accomplice because you didn't do nothing. You didn't call the police. You didn't step in. You got to go to jail too.
Well, let me tell you, man, I wouldn't have believed that it was 3 straight hours.
I don't believe that.
Except for, I don't know if you remember this story. There was a story out of Atlanta where they was all chilling at a house. And one of the friends, the cutest one out of the bunch, and you know how this story goes, accidentally sat on a hamburger of one of the other friends. So all 3 of the other friends jumped on this one girl, and they did it for over an hour. And they got video of it. They did it for over an hour, man, and over a burger, but it really wasn't over the burger. It's just that this chick was the pretty one. So when they would all go out, the dudes would holler at her. And so them girls would be, you know, say, you know how vindictive a lot of females are and jealous a lot of females are. So I remember that story. And the video, it was on YouTube, which is bizarre within itself. Because YouTube had it up for a while. They had it up for at least a couple of days before they eventually took it down. This is before when people started suing YouTube over stuff like that. And YouTube got a lot better with taking off videos as soon as they would go up. Because families were suing YouTube at one point for allowing people to post videos and them not taking them down.
Absolutely. And whoever filmed it should have gotten in trouble too, because I remember watching it. I sure do remember watching it. And so you can be an accomplice, not even putting your hands on somebody, but if you ain't done nothing to stop it, that makes you an accessory. So whoever did it say her boyfriend and the siblings watched it, or her husband?
It was the stepdad. It was the stepdad.
So he need to go to jail too. Because why you didn't step in to stop this?
And you know, that's the other part, Sky, and I think it's really sad that the stepfather and strange men have more access to, like, this is why I don't believe in dudes. I think dudes need to quit getting females pregnant that they know they ain't gonna marry. Because the dudes that come after you got more access to your children than you do. Then what's the sense of you giving the chick giving her the gift to have a kid, and you ain't gonna have access to the child? That don't make no sense.
You're right, but people ain't thinking that way, and so the tail end of it is now this child is dead. And for what reason? Even the siblings didn't do anything, but they're kids. I don't think they probably were still scared, especially if they were younger than 14. They're scared, but you're the stepfather. You as old as the mama. You 29, 30, however old you are, and you didn't step in and do nothing. Come on now,
man.
These folks are
at the end of the day, and that's why a lot of dudes don't want to be stepfathers, because how much power do you really have? I mean, he could have called the police. I would have. You know what I'm saying? I would have been like, I would have left this relationship over. You know what I'm saying? Because you could beat anybody for that long. Nah, that's way excessive. To me, I would have left.
And then again, what about the other 2 kids? Because see, I didn't know she had other kids. So that means she had that. So she had that child at 15. So that means the other siblings probably were much younger.
And they probably experienced the same thing, though.
They experienced the same thing, and that's what I was saying when I was having that conversation with these people when they was in the uproar about a boy. I was like, look, they gonna kill him then or they gonna kill him now. And if that stepdad wasn't in the house, when she got through killing this one, the other 2 could be afraid of their lives.
You right.
Absolutely. That's just crazy. People are just
The world is
and
losing its
only people
mind,
that suffer
man.
is the children. That's it. The only people that suffer is because the kids didn't ask to be here. Nobody knows. Yeah, that girl was great, but I don't know. But nobody knows everything. So, no, it's just crazy.
Yeah, man.
And then she didn't stop because she had two more kids, probably by two different modes. So she probably had three baby daddies and the boyfriend. So three baby daddies and the boyfriend.
That's nuts, man. I don't know. This a turn off to me. I don't know how other dudes be turned on by. That's a turn off to me. But
yeah, and then there was a girl online talking about she got 7 kids by 7 different.
I seen that.
And she's pregnant with her 8th, and the 8th guy is the what's he the dope man, the drug dealer,
the
or
maintenance man or something like that.
Yeah,
maintenance man or somebody.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Baby daddy number 8 with my 8th child, and she thinks that she's cute. Okay, well, whatever.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You hear me? Ain't no way. 2 by 2 is a lot to me. 7 by 7? Ain't no way, man. I want to stay away. That's some toxic box right there. Ain't
Absolutely.
no way.
You got humans in these low income communities or projects living like rats and roaches. They're just eating, sleeping, pooping, and reproducing. That's it. That is it. And the government is tired. We're tired of y'all living like animals and roaches, and we have to front the bill. That's why a lot of the taxes. That's why you got potholes on your streets, because a lot of that money is going to paying for these girls.
Let me tell you.
Daddies that ran away.
Man, don't y'all get too comfortable. The ones that's on the government says, because everybody need help. I get it. Everybody need help. Don't y'all get too comfortable.
Yeah, I bet
because they're going to audit them too. And guess what? Some of y'all that been on for decades and stuff, some of y'all that been on the system for decades, they're going to stop that stuff sooner than later. So don't get comfortable.
Absolutely.
Going to be a lot of hungry folks out here.
And for years, a lot of these Tennessee Republicans wanted to get rid of 10 care because it was just so expensive. Yeah. Because every time they turned around, it was adding 10, 20, 30, 40,000 kids a year on this thing because these girls were just having these babies by deadbeat dudes. And now if you put the child on it, you got to put the mom on it. Then if you put the mom and the child, each additional child by Tennessee law has to be added on there. So now you wonder where your taxpayer money is going. It's going to these girls having 8 kids and 8 daddies that's just not around. And they get better health care than me. I have private health care, but they can go in 10 care and go to the doctors and all this stuff. I get a bill, copay, deductible, all this old crap.
And you know what, Sky? I think they're going to revise. And, they're going to revise the whole system, right? And I think what's going to happen is, I don't think they're going to cut welfare. I know a lot of people are afraid they're going to cut no welfare enough. But for the people behind, and what I hope he does do as an executive order is to cut down, not for the people that's already on it, but going forward, from the date that he signed it, going forward, that you only can be on for a shelf life. And after that, you got to figure it out. I think all these programs are doing nothing but promoting single parent homes. That's all it's doing. If you start cutting these programs and people have to really suffer, you will see less and less. I guarantee you won't have as many of these chicks. Man, they're going to be with the dudes they be with. Watch when these programs, because they bout to, a lot of them bout to. Even if they don't want to, a lot of them going to be cut because there are so many immigrants. They only got so many resources to go around. So somebody going to miss out. So I'm just saying, man, be ready. Absolutely.
You can't live on the government forever because eventually somebody's gonna come through, audit this stuff, and
They
say,
gonna
"Hey,
come through like this." I'm telling
60,
you, that boy coming through like
y'all gotta
this.
go." Yeah.
Cut
You
the
know,
funds.
'cause there's already people online talking about they cut all my benefits. What am I supposed to do? Well, you know, nobody tell you have all these kids and daddy. Well, me and the husband work. Well, first of all, you got a husband to work. You don't need to be on assistance. No way. You work, the husband work. But we still can't afford it. Shit, I don't know what to tell y'all. You working, he working. Y'all got 4 kids and a dog, and y'all still can't afford it. I don't know what to tell you. I got to cut back on something.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of folks are just used to it's like a generational curse, just passing it down, teaching each person how to abuse the system, and now somebody's coming on saying, "Hey, nope, you got to get up, you got to go to work. We don't care how many kids you got to get up and go. If you ain't disabled physically, mentally, or whatever the definition of disability is, you got to get up and go."
Yep. You coming in them times, y'all. Hey, I want to take this time, man, to thank y'all for watching and being here with us, man. We appreciate y'all. Hopefully, we had some issues before starting the show. They changed up a couple things, so hopefully,
I'm not even live. It wouldn't let me go live at all. So all my people's not watching it. So when we end it, I'll just have to share it from your Facebook to mine.
I already did. I did. I don't know if it went there automatically, but I did tag you in it. So y'all be able to watch the recap or whatnot for those that missed the show. And if you come across this, man, y'all really will help us out by sharing it. We appreciate it. I want to take this time to thank all my people on Bigo. Thank y'all for tuning in. Also, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. All my people on TikTok, man, what up? Y'all been help driving them numbers up too. So I appreciate y'all. And A-Sky, man, go ahead and plug them in. What you got going on later on tonight, brother?
Yep. And yeah, don't forget the D Bling radio show, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And the replay from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. offtopradio.com. That is offtopradio.com. So tune in, man. Let's have some fun tonight.
Most definitely, man. And hey, Happy Valentine's Day. I can't even speak.
Yeah, to everyone. Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody, man. I hope you guys have a good one. You know what I'm saying, fellas? You know, it's the thought that counts. If she can't appreciate it, man, take that shit back. Goddamn.
Absolutely.
You know, take it back.
And I always look at Valentine's Day like income tax. However many girls you claimed last year in 2024, that's how many Valentine's gifts you're going to get. So if you out here being a pimp, and you got 10 girls that you've been courting, well, there's 10 things of Valentine's. You better be giving each one of them.
So that's
why I be telling people, be careful. Hey, I had friends that would date these girls up to February 13th and break up with them.
Yeah, man, I was just about to say that.
They were so petty. They didn't want to buy nothing for Valentine's Day. I was like, y'all some petty ass niggas. Like, Lord. Boy,
hey man, it's like that.
I could write a book about coming out of age here, boy. These niggas petty as hell. You know what I'm saying? And then a month later, holler back at them after Valentine's Day was over.
And ladies, sex is not a Valentine's Day gift. All right, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so you shave it, you put a bow around it, whatnot, but it's still not a Valentine's Day gift. I don't know which one of y'all need to hear that. Not it is for me. You know what I'm saying? I happily take that gift. But I'm just saying, you know, man, and that's for the missus, you know.
Absolutely.
But for the rest of y'all, that this dating and stuff, that ain't a Valentine's Day gift. Don't have that man going out spending $400 or $500 on you on Valentine's Day, and then you gonna give him some cat talking about Happy Valentine's Day. No, ain't the same, man. Keep that shit, man. We want a refund. They want a refund. Baby, I don't want a refund.
Absolutely. You're right about that.
And I'm talking to y'all on dating. I ain't talking about us married people. We in a whole nother, you know, we on something else. Well, y'all dating and stuff, or, you know, y'all been dealing with somebody? No, that's not a gift. It's only a gift if you married. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So yeah, so happy Valentine's Day, y'all. So we'll figure out what everybody did for Valentine's Day next week when we do the show. Hopefully next week I'll be able to go live on my end or whatever. We'll figure out what happened, but still we had a good show, so that's all that counts.
Man, we appreciate y'all, man. Always remember the only thing guaranteed in life is death. So only worry about the things you can control.
Absolutely.
And let go of the things that you can't. Put that in God's hands.
Absolutely.
And as long as you woke up on this half of the dirt and you finished the day on this half of the dirt, you won the day. All right?
That's correct.
So I just want to put that out there for him. You got anything else, man, you want to add, Scott?
That's it, Mr. Damo. You have a great week and a great Valentine's Day.
Man, you too. I think I'm about to go. I think I'm going to turn on my TV and let my TV watch me. This rainy day. Y'all have a great rest of the week, man. Please catch us next Tuesday, same time, same place, all right? Peace, y'all.